burnout. That's something that we get asked about a ton, honestly. And, why not make a video to talk about it with you guys? I've certainly dealt with it. Um, and, everyone does, I think, at some point, right? Like, we all have this feeling of, just being overwhelmed, that there's too much going on, that we might not have enough time, definitely not enough time to do the things that we enjoy. We cut that out, right? And our life becomes just work, work, work. It becomes nonstop grinding, right? And then it's like we get stuck in this place where we ask ourselves, like, damn, like, this sucks, right? And I don't want to do this because it sucks. That place, that dark place right there, right, is what I consider burnout, for myself at least. And I definitely don't think that I'm some sort of like expert on fixing burnout, right? Or I'm definitely not trying to claim that or say that at all. Sorry, I just got finished doing some homework for my master's classes today, and I'm just making sure that I submitted my stuff, because I almost missed a deadline once, accidentally not double checking that it's submitted. But anyways, burnout. Let's start with my experience with it, because I think that's important to share how I interpreted the burnout concept for myself, how I perceived it, I should say, and how I was able to kind of keep going, right? Because I mean, in this career in medicine, and I'm not even close to being done, right? I'm still in med school. I still have another year left of medical school. I still have to do residency, and so it's about building the skills, right? The habits to combat that feeling, right? Because we're gonna keep going, right? And just because we feel that way, hopefully, it doesn't make us stop and quit. And that's really where I want to get at here, because a lot of people ask us about burnout because they want to quit, because they want to like change careers, they want to change the trajectory of whatever they've been working on, because they feel like it's been very hard, right? I've experienced this many times myself. The last time I experienced this actually was during my study period, my stretch of studying for my board exam, my the first board exam that we take in medical school, actually this summer. So I've already kind of shared this, and I don't want to get too much into it because I've talked about this a ton. But the first time around that I started studying for it, I completely burned myself out, completely, to the point that I did consider changing careers. I did find myself in a dark place where I was like, man, this is super difficult, and I don't think I'm capable of doing this. Like, I've given up everything that I love to do. This is all I'm doing. I'm grinding. Actively trying to just get to the spot that I want to be in, which is take the exam, and it just wasn't happening. And so I felt in a super dark place. I was doubting myself. I had the imposter syndrome. I was just burnt out, right? So I took a break because I just genuinely didn't know what I wanted to do anymore, and I thought that I didn't want to do this anymore. Of course, that was all burnout, and that was definitely on my head, and that was what that feeling just created, right? And that's totally normal, and that's okay. And that's why I share this. I share these things because in that moment I felt like I've worked so hard for nothing, and it sucks to feel that way, right? Like, I'm sure all of you guys have worked so hard to get to the point you're at, and then when you feel burnt out, it's a horrible feeling. I felt it again this last time around, because I didn't end up taking my board exam. I took some time off, which I'll get to, but I started studying for that exam again, and I went all in. I did feel burnt out. I had this conversation with someone once, Esther. She's actually a lawyer, a good friend of mine, and shout out to Esther. And I do think about this conversation. I don't think she realizes it, and I don't think I've mentioned this to her, but I was in a very dark place, right? And again, I don't want to do this anymore. I've wasted my time, and I think what helps me, and this is the advice that I do give people when we are in those moments, is we get stuck in the moment. We get stuck in the grind. We kind of absolutely forget everything else, right? Because this is like our world in the moment. Whatever we're working on, this the busy schedule, like it becomes our world, right? And we forget everything else. At least that's what happened with me. And in that moment, I completely forgot why I applied to medical school in the first place. I completely forgot, or I not forgot, right? But in the moment, the thing that I just wasn't thinking about those things. Completely forgot about what my vision was when I wanted to become a physician, when I eventually am a physician, right? What I wanted to do, the work that I want to do with my community, with other students and things like. I was not thinking about any of that. I was just in the moment, like, my life sucks. Why am I doing this to myself? This can't be my life. Like, this sucks. I have to do something else. Of course, you know, I'm in a much better place now. I've passed the exam, and I can speak on that experience, you know, and feel differently. But in that moment, that's how I felt, and I have to validate that, right? And that's what we have to do. We have to validate our emotions. We have to talk to ourselves. I mean, I'm not trying to sound crazy, but like, just talking to ourselves sometimes just helps the most. And obviously talking to others. In this case, I mentioned Esther. We talked about this, lawyer, right? So very, very difficult profession, very difficult career to pursue as well. Pursuing law school and then practicing law and stuff like that. I had to, because I forgot all of those things, I had to take a step back. And that break helped, right? That's when I did it for me. But I've done it now in moments where I don't need to take, months off. In that case, my first time around studying for my board exam, I took months off, and that really helped. But I do this even now. I have to take a step back and remember why I'm doing this, right? And when someone asks me, I always ask them, and ask yourself, why are you doing this? What is it that your ultimate goal is? And whatever your answer is, remember that, right? Remember that we are working towards that goal, that dream, and it is worth it, right? And so I took a step back, and I had to remind myself of why I'm doing this. The other part, which I think is the most important, at least it was for me, was, where am I right now in my life? I'm in a point where I'm super busy all the time. I'm in medical school. I go to clinic and I see patients. I go to class. I'm in school. I'm studying. I'm turning in homework on this computer, and I'm sitting on this comfy chair, right? And I'm like, wait, I'm taking this for granted. I'm privileged to be in this position. I am privileged to be struggling for that board exam, to become a doctor, to help others. I am privileged to be sitting here worrying about my homework and turning it on time, making sure that I have done it correctly. Those challenges to me are a privilege. These are the challenges that I was dreaming about, that I wished for, that I prayed for 5 years, 10 years back even. And I'm in this situation now, right? And I completely forget all of that. I completely forgot all of that, right, in that moment. And I do tend to forget those things when I'm feeling burnt out. So we have to ask ourselves, right, like, what is it that we're doing? And we're privileged to be in this position. I'm privileged to be in a position where I can train to eventually be an attending, that I'm going to be supervising, other people training and taking care of patients. Like, that would be the dream come true for me, right? And I do forget that. And for me, it's like, what else would I be doing if it wasn't for this, right? And a couple other things cross my mind, like, I'd be working construction or something like that. I'd definitely be doing something more backbreaking, at least I would think, if I didn't pursue med school. I'd be doing a 9 to 5. I'd be doing, who knows, right? But that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this. And we have to remind ourselves of that sometimes. Sometimes that's just what it is, to keep us going towards our goals, to that finish line, to that midterm, to that final, to that board exam, to whatever it is, right? Because when I was in high school, when I was even in college, I worked constructions. I did, I helped around with my tios. I learned how to do a lot of things. At some point, I thought that's what I was going to do, right? Come home super tired, like extremely tired. And I don't know how the adults that were doing that around me did it. Like, I was super surprised. I'm like, this is like very, very hard work, right? Like, physically hard work. The labor is intense. And I'm sitting here and I'm stressing, and my challenges are different, right? It's not the same as them. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but this is what I was dreaming for myself, right? This is what I wanted. And it's not only for me, but for my family, for my community, and for everyone else, right? So I just want to share that with you guys. I hope that you're taking care of yourselves, and that's the last point that I want to make. Please make sure that you're taking care of yourselves, that you're eating right, that you're hydrating, you're drinking water, that you're not eating a lot of junk food. I know it could be easy to stress eat, but just be a little bit more mindful of that. I can definitely say that I'm guilty of that sometimes, of stress eating and stuff like that, but I'm more mindful of it now. Working out, even if it's just a walk outside, around the block, like I do that, and it makes me feel so much better. Getting fresh air, like we have to do things that make us feel good, right? Because that's literally what it is. The things that make you feel good are going to make you feel good, right? So we have to not let go of everything completely. Of course, we're not going to hang on to everything, right? Like I used to love gaming, I used to love playing online, and I still do every now and then. But am I going to realistically do it as much as I did it before, all night with the home? No, I'm not doing that, right? But I definitely love to work out. I love to go on a walk. I love to just get fresh air, get sun, go on a run, whatever. Like I make time for those things, and it really, really helps, especially during those moments, right? That's different for everyone. I just use those examples for me. I want you guys to take care of yourselves. I want you guys to keep believing in yourselves. Hopefully, like I know I can say that, and sometimes I don't do the same, but I genuinely think that got me here, just believing in myself. I want you guys to believe in yourselves. You can do it. You've already faced a ton of adversity in life, I'm sure, and this is just another challenge, another hurdle that you can overcome, right? The feeling of burnout. Sometimes you do just have to take time off. Just take time off. Just take a step back to just relax. Just get your mind off of whatever it is. Take some time off. Take a week. Take a month. I mean, don't take too much time, of course, but take time off. Feel rejuvenated again. Go to sleep. Get sleep. Whatever it is. Sometimes that is necessary. We do have to do that for ourselves, for our mental health, for our sanity. Right? Spend time with loved ones, like whatever it is. Like sometimes we do have to do those things, and I did. As I mentioned, the time off I took really, really helped. And however you want to go about it. I mean, I didn't completely stop doing things. I was doing other things, but I just stopped studying. For example, I still worked. I still did my other project stuff, like my extracurriculars, right? But I stopped studying, and that's what I needed to do. So whether it's work, having time off, going on a vacation, going to the beach, going to relax, whatever it is, sometimes that is needed. Anyways, I've rambled for way too long. I hope that the video has been helpful. Again, like I just speak on my experience, and I share this with others because I know that we do get asked this, Irvin and I, on our Foosinmedicine account when we speak to students. And if you're new to my channel, please like the video, subscribe. I'm gonna just try to do more of these conversations of common questions that we get asked, and then of course just like daily vlogs here and there when I can, because I do enjoy doing this, and I like sharing my journey with others out there, hopefully drawing some sort of inspiration or motivation from it, because that's what I would do as a pre-med. Watch others on YouTube. It really would motivate me during midterms or whatever the case may be, like to just keep going. But anyways, y'all, hope y'all taking care of yourselves. Peace out.